always a joy for us to be with you week after week. We thank God for you all across this beautiful land of Guyana, the Caribbean, and further field. You know, you are a great people out there, and we thank God for the opportunity that we can be with you. And so we pray that you will invite someone. Stay tuned at this time. We pray that God will bless you.
From the set of choices, we salute the Cooperative Republic of Guyana on its 47th Republic anniversary. As we celebrate, let us not forget the goodness of God to us in this nation. As a people, we want to encourage you. Let us work together to develop this beautiful country of ours, fulfilling our motto, one people, one nation, one destiny. Oh, beautiful Guyana. Oh, my lovely native land. More dear to me than all the world, thy sea-washed, sun-kissed strand, or down upon the borders, looking out upon the deep. The great Atlantic blown into a fury or asleep. At morn, at noon, or better in the crimson sunset glow. I love thee, oh, I love thee. God bless Guyana.
Indeed, this is a great country, our dear land of Guyana. We have been considering several issues that have been confronting not only this nation, but the nations of the world. And one of those issues that we have been considering is that of the value of life. You know, the Word of God tells us that we have been created in the image and in the likeness of God. The scripture further tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. But you know, as we consider those issues, we found that there are several issues that seem to impact or influence our outlook on life. And one such issue that we have considered is that of the influence or the impact of music. And last week we looked at how music not only impacted our lives, but how some music caused us not only to denigrate women, but also how it leads to violence and hate. And this week we want to continue to examine the issue about how we value life. And we want to draw on the wisdom of Isaiah. Sorry, not Isaiah, Titus. In the book of Titus, chapter 2, reading verses 1, 2, and 3, it states clearly the importance of teaching, of how we should teach value and values that will help to shape our outlook on life. Gentlemen.
Some very important gateways of any society. I'd like to name two of them: the arts and media. I can name a whole set, but let's just look at those two important gateways. We were probing both of them last week. They're gateways into not just a family, gateways into community, gateways into a nation. What we need now are gatekeepers. In the family, we need gatekeepers who are alert, who are aware, who understand the times. These gatekeepers are very, very critical for family safety and productivity, for community safety and prosperity, and for national safety, prosperity, and productivity and sustainability. So at each level, you have these gatekeepers, as I would call them. Now, Paul said to Timothy, he identified some gatekeepers. He said, rather to Titus, he said, but you must say the things that are consistent with sound teaching, telling this young leader who he had left in charge. We put ourselves in charge when we get children. We are in charge. And therefore, the only way those children and society to be protected is that we have to teach them sound. The teaching must be sound. Whatever you're communicating to them must be sound. So that is a responsibility. And in this time in which we live, we have a problem because we have children giving birth to children. And those children themselves need instruction, but biologically they are able to produce. And we have not just one or two or 100, we have thousands producing in this way. So it places a burden on the system. And we are looking at this life is so dynamic. That is not just one gate or one person responsible. You have a lockstep approach where so many of us, and if one person drops the ball, we're not too sure that there'll be someone who will catch it. That is my big concern. So we need to have sound teaching.
I want to commend you for that. And I want to also piggyback on what you said. In addition to that, is the fact that we have the family structure. It is constructed in present day, blended families, for example. And so what you find happening in the offsprings from both parties, you find sometimes at the weekends, or even during the week, they have to part company to go with the other parent to spend some time. So while at one end, great emphasis is being made to teach, at the other end, there's another struggle.
A relaxation.
A relaxation of values. You do what you want.
Yeah.
You know? And so when they come back, what you find happening is that they feel that daddy or mommy on this end is a titan, you know. They're trying to restrict us, to hold us back.
Yeah.
And the child himself or herself can be confused by what is happening. So this in itself poses a challenge, not just to the family, but to society.
Pastor, I really appreciate us having this kind of discussion, because what it does, it awakens us, it reminds us about the value of life, and two, the power and the necessity of instruction. Because every now and then, like the water beating the shore, every now and then what happens is that there is an erosion. And I think that in our community, if we are not careful, if it has not happened, it is happening, that there is an erosion over the necessity to look out for, to train, to instruct, and to see the proper development of our children and young people. And so what was described here just now is an example of the kinds of erosion. So you have instruction from one end, and then on the other end, there's this relaxation. But for a child to be properly developed, you need not just the peers, you need the community also to get involved. You need everybody to get involved. And then that brings me right back to the old value of life and helping young people to be properly developed, not just academically, not just having CXCs, but having the kind of moral structure and the kind of attitude and aptitude to be able to succeed in life. And that is a community assignment. It is first the parents, and it is enforced by the schools and the community.
But I want to agree with you, because as a youngster coming up, I would remember receiving instructions, and when you met with your friends, you want to violate those instructions. But there were people out there, you always have to look back to see who is coming. Who is coming, because you know those people, when they saw you, they would pull you in. It is lacking in our society today, where we don't have that type of thing. As a matter of fact, people are afraid now, and it comes back to the area of sound teaching. If we don't have sound teaching, we could lose our children, because here we have, as we talk about the gateways that are influencing the minds of our young people. And if that structure, I went to the prison, and there are lots of young men in there, and some of them had teaching, but because of other influences, they were led astray. And so they find themselves in a place where they're now locked away from society. But it comes back to the whole area of teaching and training. We cannot stop teaching.
What's happening at the gateways now is that there's no relationship with the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers are at war with one another. So I cannot talk to your child when I see your child misbehaving because you dare not talk to my child like that. And if we don't have relationships like we should, the children suffer again because they are so innocent. They can speak to anybody. They speak to anybody. But when it comes to that particular part of parenting, they try to dictate. We try to dictate who our son or our daughter should talk to. But they don't have that kind of crazy mindset.
You know, Pastor Jackman, it is very, very important. Relationships are very important in what we do because as gatekeepers, we have to have relationships. And I believe one of the ways we can curb the situation that Minister Wesley described is as gatekeepers, we have to speak the same language. And I love the way as we speak the same language, I believe that is one of the ways we can transmit some doctrine.
Well, it's not just some doctrine.
Really
seem to put it in a religious context. It's, Paul was really advocating sound teaching, because it's not just doctrine, not just theological. Well, it is extended to a whole host of other things. But listen to this, as we probe this whole question about the necessity of gatekeepers. We identify a gatekeeper. Older men, he said. Older men. This is Titus 2 and verse 2. Are to be level-headed. I heard an older man standing in his yard or his friend's yard shouting to the top of his voice, "I ignorant." And he shouted it about 5 or 6 times. And he was wearing it like a necklace, and as though this is something to be proud of, and something for the community to celebrate. I heard that. I also looked at the newspapers last week, and I was shocked when I saw the photographs of 6 or 7 males, and the idea of what they were involved in, it shocks me. I was shocked. I looked at it again, and I wondered where these guys came from. Older men are to be level-headed. So at some level, some place, older men must be level-headed to speak to young men. You didn't stop there. You said you don't want to go.
No, please allow me.
Go ahead.
Pastor Lee and I are good friends, and he's a much older man. There are times he would tell
Much?
me. And he has a few years in front of me. And he will tell you, there are times I would go to him and I would say, Pastor Lee, you know, you've been on this earth a little longer than I am, and you have gathered a certain amount of experience and skills that I need to benefit from. Here I have this issue. As an older man, I would really like to benefit from the way you would think on this matter. And it is compliment to him. And I pray that every older man will have that kind of, because I believe years, experiences should allow you that kind of balanced thinking. And the older men, I think, should be open to younger men benefiting from that kind of wisdom. So not just being sober, but the transmission of that experience to the next generation, I think is critical. I benefit from you, Bishop, like that. How many times I call and said, Bishop, I need your wisdom on this issue. And I will lay a case out. And when I hear the solution, I'm saying, but I never thought about that. But it's because of the soberness of the thinking.
What is so critical here, and I only point out the fact that they not only identify the gatekeeper, but they also identify the characteristic that is critical. to the gatekeeper being influential
Yeah.
in what he or she does. And so, when we look in society today, for example, the scenario that you presented, I wouldn't want to engage someone like that should I have a problem. And no young person would want to engage unless they want to go in the same direction that that person is heading in. And so, as a gatekeeper, we have a responsibility to ensure that we don't only say that we do. I heard this one. If you want to know how a man thinks, don't just listen to what he says, but look at what he does. And so that, scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. We need gatekeepers who can be so influential, not in their home, but in society. I heard Pastor Jackman say, it come back to harm the children. But society also is affected because that child or those children will become a menace to society once there's deficiency in the home. And so my question is it that the family is robbing society by not being efficient, or is society failing the family by not giving the support that is needed to the family to help to curb these things that are happening?
But Minister Wesley, I think the problem is that we are facing a crisis, not only in the family, because the clash comes about whether we decide if the values that we want to inculcate or to transmit, whether they are still good values or they are no longer necessary.
Yeah.
So we have a society where everything seems to be relative now, where we adopt values just to suit a particular situation. But here, Titus speaks about sound teaching. Soundness means that it has endured time. So it's important because not only that it has endured time, but it is applicable to situations that we confront now. So you find that some of the older men might be afraid because that's old-time-ish, that's outdated, that's outmoded. We need new thinking, we need new values. So that is where the problem lies now.
Well, in addition, this is a wonderful discussion. In addition to some things being described as archaic and so on, older men are to be level-headed, worthy of respect. Now, I have observed that there seems to be a conspiracy between fathers and sons in terms of respect for authority. Now, this conspiracy, I think it is fueled by the enemy of our souls. Most fathers, in their journey with their children, at some point, you'll find a tension between that father and who's trying to disciple or to mentor his, especially the next generation, the seed, the son. And this is very, very pronounced. And in our culture, where you find rebellion very, very early. And here you find a man attempting to enforce some principle in his home, but his son has a different view, perhaps because of the actions in the home or what is observed by the son of the father. Listen, this is very complex. And what happens there, instead of having a cohesiveness in that family unit, you now have disruptive behavior.
Yes.
And not just this disruptive behavior, you have a situation where it overspills into society, and you have different problems. So we need men must be worthy of respect. Not a word here, sensible. Common sense is not common. It is a very special gift, and all of us getting intellectual understanding, common sense is something that we should really have. As a youngster, I'll say this here. I grew up in a village and we had common sense. And when I was about 18 years, I went to a birthday party, and everybody else, all my friends, their drink came from the kitchen, but my drink came from the bedroom. I saw that. I was standing next to the window, and I saw when the mother, the girl's mother, we were celebrating a young lady's birthday, and everybody, they served the entire house from the kitchen. But I saw when she came, the mother came through the bedroom door with my drink. And as God would have it, in those days you never had curtains in your home, you used to have blinds. And a strong breeze blew the blind up. And I could see a huge, if you see this altar, I thought I was in the Vatican. if you see candles, that's where my drink came from. You know, and I remember a movie I'd seen just around the time Cornbread, Oil and Me. You know, he had the drink high and let it fly through the window. Sensible. You have to be sensible. You have to be thinking. You know, you have to have common sense. Men, you have to sit with your sons. If you're taking several beers with them, after a while, you won't be level-headed anymore. No. So lots of men want to gather in a huddle around some consumption of alcoholic beverage. Okay, let's say they start. You start in a level-headed manner. The thing is going to deteriorate because some men can't balance themselves after two runs. Some guys gone after 3, and you know, and you still have a wise man giving instruction, you know, and that conversation, people living off of it, dying off of it. Sometimes that is the seedbed of this thing called domestic violence. Right there. When men saying, listen, buddy, you know, this, buddy, beat them up, you tell you. This is, you know, men come under the influence, but they still have some kind of influence. And they are giving counsel.
You know, the test of a good man is the words that you would hear coming from his son or his daughter. And you know, every kind of teaching that he would have purported is going to be tested by the child. Let's hear in this context what the child has to say about his father. Here's Solomon in Proverbs chapter 4. It says, "Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake you not my Lord." This is Solomon the son talking about what his father would have done. "For I was my father's son, tender and beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words. Keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. For forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth." Now, if you have a son talking like this about his father, you're sure to know that he would have laid a good foundation. He would have done the right thing. He would have been able to, as we're talking about, be sober, be vigilant, be very attentive to the whole process of passing this information on, because as a gatekeeper, you have to do that. And it's wonderful with your children. Solomon here is elevating value, teaching far above gold, silver, and earthly possession. And I think sometimes we make the mistake as men, as fathers, that once I leave house, land, those things are important, but once we leave those things, then we would have transmitted the things that are necessary for our children. But that's wrong. Teaching is critical, because as we teach, as we train, it will shape their views and perception about life. And that sometimes that will help them to either keep what the earthly things that we have left for them, or they dispose of them.
You know,
so teaching is critical.
as we talk about this whole idea of cultivating these values, I found that sometimes while your parents teach you well, when you leave and go off to places like universities, and you find alternative ideas, if that foundation is not deep, the whole structure fall apart.
That's true.
So the value of teaching is necessary, but not just tucked up deep.
Yeah. You know, I'm traveling with a young man yesterday, taking him and his mother home. And one of the siblings says, "You got a girlfriend, you know," and he slaps you in your face. And I said, "What?" He said, "Yes, I have to manage you." He's about 12. And he's saying that he has a girlfriend and he's slapping her face. So he says, "Well, that's not right." So his mother says, "I don't want to hear that. You beating girls now. If you start now, what is going to happen?" And I'm sitting there, so I'm enforcing the thing what she's telling him. He says that is not the correct way to go. You don't need a girlfriend right now. You need your books at this present moment. And as you grow, if you begin now by hitting girls, it will become a habit. And you will grow up beating. But that came from the home because he saw his mother being beaten by the father before. So he thinks it's the right way. So I had to put a stop right there and says, "I don't want to hear that from you, and I check on you."
Who you believe that boy would listen to? An outsider or his father? And this is why this counsel came to the older men. I mean, it's commendable what you did, but closer to home, that role model, that mentor, is transferring information every single day on that child's life. Paul said, Titus, there must be sound in faith. Faith, you must be sound in faith. You must believe in God. This is critical. Notwithstanding whatever we might achieve in this life, you must be sound in faith, sound in love, and in endurance. Some people do not have this thing called endurance. We want to challenge you today, wherever you view this program from. Let us together attempt to resolve these challenges that we have. By becoming one, understanding the issue, and attempting by God's grace to see how we can bring transformation. This is Choices. Blessed.
We thank you for joining us on Choices today. Remember, you can join us at First Assembly, LNP Durban Street, Workmanville, Georgetown, Guyana, for any of our special services. I'm Celicia on behalf of the set, reminding you that your whole life is the sum of your choices. God bless you.